States, do you want to go to jail in El Salvador?
Including those of U.S. citizenship and legal resident.
It's here, folks. The threat of sending United States citizens to foreign jails.
He has agreed to accept for deportation any illegal alien in the United States who is a criminal from any nationality, be they MS-13 or Tren de Aragua, and house them in his jails. He has offered to house in his jails dangerous American criminals in custody, including those of U.S. citizenship and legal resident. Including those of U.S. citizenship and legal resident. Including those of U.S. citizenship and legal resident.
It took just over 2 weeks and 1 day for the United States to make a deal with a foreign country to deport United States citizens and hold them in jail in a foreign country. I said long ago that the United States government would start threatening to deport United States citizens, and they're not out loud saying it right now. They're not saying we're going to deport you, but they're doing it just loud enough to start to quiet resistance. And that's the scary part, the part that should concern you. They're making it just close enough that people aren't going to be willing to resist. This is how you lose all of your power. The fear suppresses the resistance. But don't mistake me. I believe that if they had a reason, they would absolutely send United States resistance to foreign prisons to El Salvador. Do you have any idea what the condition of those jails is going to be?
Shalom. Shalakia, first thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor as due to Yahweh, Shimi, Hawashai, Bashim, Kodash, double honors to apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Those in this gospel, broad lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Shimi, Hawashai, wherever it may be. It says, citizens of Babylon, you can now be jailed in El Salvador if you are labeled a troublemaker by government. And when I saw this video yesterday, I had the spirit to do something on it, because these type of topics is very relevant for the times we're entering into, okay, which pretty much we're already really in a time of Jacob's trouble. And I was listening to the elder brother D-Mash going into this topic as well, and this dude didn't sign over 200 executive orders already within the first 3 weeks of being in office. On his first day, he signed about 200 executive orders. So ain't no telling how many more he didn't sign without you people knowing. And this one here in particular, which I don't understand how they can do this one, because, technically, they can't deport United States citizens to face jail time in a different country unless habeas corpus is suspended or case of an emergency and they have like a particular black ops site. Okay, and a black ops site is basically an undocumented location that the USA take their prisoners who they deem terrorists or menaces to society or anybody that's coming against the government. They have a black ops site and they can take you there without any documentation or any knowledge to where you actually are. And they can have their way with you. And you heard what Trump said. He said it, matter of fact, maybe a week or two ago, he said, look, we're even going to get troublemakers on our own soil that want to, come up against us. And he just signed this new anti-S bill, pretty much targeting anybody that speak out against the small hats. Though he targeted the Palestinians with that, but that ain't as far as it go. Okay, that's going to be on a national scale because the whole world right now is rising up against Amalek. So you think that Amalek is going to go with people exposing him too much longer? No, he's not. Okay, because Revelation 12:12 says that, behold, the devil should come down into you having great wrath, because he knoweth he had but a short time. So Trump is going to do the bidding of Israel, man. And I'm not talking about the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. I'm talking about the small hats. Okay, he's going to do the bidding of the small hats, man. Okay, so this video right here goes into just that if they deem you a troublemaker or if you're speaking out against this system, they can lock you up in a foreign country, which the USA have black sites in foreign countries, man. Okay, for one thing, Guantanamo Bay, even though that's not really considered a black site, but you can really say it is a black ops site, is because all types of torture regimens go on in that place, man. So how much more us in this faith, when they start to crack down on this truth and they start to try to roll on brothers, it may come a time that, hey, brothers, you looking to go to camp and they may not be there. They may be in a goddamn concentration camp, man. Okay, now this thing is serious. It's not a joke. This thing is getting ready to get real, and this thing is really getting ready to turn up because Esau Edom is tired of holding back. Okay, the cat is out the bag. Everybody knows that Amalek is who he is now. They know that the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Israelites, and there's no coincidence that he's targeting the Venezuelans or the so-called migrants, calling them illegal aliens, getting them to trying to deport them. And the fact that you have all these riots, well, not riots, but all these protests in these different cities, that could be Esau's way of justifiably saying, well, look, this is considered an insurrection. We need to detain these people as soon as we can because things are going to get violent. And don't think that Jake ain't going to come up missing in that. Because, hey, Esau Edom, he has a bloodlust for you niggas, man. All right? And I'm talking about from Judah all the way down to Issachar. Another thing, you Israelites out there that like to clout chase and that like to, go to these protesters and that like to have blickies on camera and all this other bullshit that you niggas are doing, guess what? He's coming for you too. Okay, you sell out leaders of these congregations, guess what? You not exempt either. And it's going to be even worse for you because the Lord ain't going to have your back in them concentration camps. So leaders of these different groups like Nate at the IUIC, you know what I'm saying, and these other groups, hey, when Esau Edom rolls on you and your congregation, hey, it's gonna be all hands. Hey, it's gonna be bad for you. Okay, it's gonna be horrible for you people, man, because you didn't take the Lord serious. Okay, you didn't take His men serious. You didn't take His word serious, and you're not calling on the name of the Heavenly Father and His Son. So it's getting ready to get real bad out here, right? So it's a quick couple of precepts here because I'm actually getting ready to go inside the spot. But this is the book of Luke 19, and I'm gonna start at verses and I've been going into this precept a lot lately, but this is Luke 19, and I'm going to start at 40, and it says, and he answered and said it to them, I tell you that if these should hold their peace, the stones would immediately cry out. And when he was to come near, he beheld the city and wept over it, saying, if thou hast known, even thou, at least in this thy day, the things which belong to thy peace, but now they are hid from thy eyes, man, right? Because there's going to come a time that this society is just going to see pandemonium, okay, inclement weather, economic collapse, bureaucracies failing, messed up weather, man, riots, protests, looting, invade one another, people getting put to death in the streets. A video came out the other day that a Jake woman, little 6-year-old girl, put to death a cop, man, shot her right in the fucking eye, all because the cop was beating up on her mother because they falsely accused Keisha of stealing a flat screen TV, which I believe she had the receipts for, and the little girl went in the glove department and put that cop to death, man. They got the little girl like with a mug shot and everything. I'm like, this little baby is 6 years old. She was only doing what she knew how to do. What she was told to do was to defend her parent, from a fucking tyrant and put the bitch down. You know what I'm saying? Now they gonna do whatever they can to get that back in blood. So Esau is heated at Jake, especially with all this DI programming out now. They can hire their family members. They don't have to hire you Jakes. And sooner than later, hey, when Trump said he's making America great again, he said it. He said, we're talking about the early 1900s. And remember, Jake was still considered 3/5 of a man. Even though you were emancipated by then, regardless of it, you still didn't have equal footing in the society. So this is what this devil is bringing back, man. On top of a digital technocracy, which is going to deal with things being subjective, But it says here, and it says, saying, if thou hast known, even thou, at least in this thy day, the things which belong to thy peace, but now they are hid from thy eyes. It reads, it says, for the day shall come upon thee that thy enemies shall cast a trench about thee. And who is your enemies, man? Esau, starting with Esau and the other nations. So they got troops already ready in place to go in your neighborhoods and eliminate you in mass numbers, man. And the ones they don't kill, they're going to put you in concentration camps or take you to a black ops site for you to never be heard of again, man. Okay, and this is the reality of it. For you niggas out there that's playing games in this truth, you women out there that's playing games in this truth, you women that's jumping from brother to brother, hey, this applies to you too. You catty women in Israel, a lot of you going in them concentration camps too, man. Okay, you ain't gonna be able to pull that one. I'm just a woman. I don't know. I'm just emotional. Nah, they gonna put you in there too, and they gonna have their way with you. Okay, you got to understand Esau is losing his kingdom. So this is his last hoorah as to make him as into to basically sticking it to our people. And this shit is going to be worse than 70 AD. This is going to be 70 AD on steroids, man. Because they're going to bring a famine. They're going to cause orchestrated blackouts. Okay, they're going to bring the troops. They already got private militias, as Esau has already weaponized the Proud Boys. So it's going to get real bad out here, man. And hey, 2025 can very well be that year that all things go offline. Because I started watching a movie a little bit last night, Leave the World Behind. You know, I started watching another glimpse of it. And basically, man, they said that the city was totally chaotic. So, hey, this man is getting ready to lose it. But it says, for the day should come upon thee that thy enemy should cast a trench about thee and compass thee round about and keep thee in on every side, and should lay thee even with the ground and thy children within thee, and they should not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knewest not the time of thy visitation. So while niggas are gearing up in all Super Bowl frenzy, you know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, we gonna go to the Super Bowl game and get, nah, bruh. All right, you know, you got to be diligent, vigilant, man. And, you know, brothers are already into no, you know what I'm saying? But we talking about these common niggas out here, these jakes out here that don't want that think that they're going to get their generational wealth. Nah, bruh. Okay. Only thing you hear about now, the Kansas City Chiefs. What if Esau caused a blackout the day of the Super Bowl and his society goes down in chaos? Then what? That will crash his Super Bowl party right then and there. Okay, because Jake don't know, man. Jake is playing games. And I mean, you got a few people on YouTube and TikTok that's, you know, blowing a whistle, but even they don't know what's really going on. Okay, they going off what other influencers are saying, but the real insight is with the prophets, with the men of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. All right. Isaiah 10, and I'm going to start at verses 5. It says, O Assyrian, the rod of my anger, and the staff in their hand is my indignation, and that staff is that power. Okay, this is the Lord getting ready to come up against our people. Okay, remember he said that he looked at Israel as an enemy, you know, that he's clouded in his anger. He's pissed off at Jake right now. Okay, Jake is waxing worse and worse. So they getting ready to, the Lord's getting ready to purge 2/3. And it says, and I will send him against a hypocritical nation, which is our people. And against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge to take the spoil and to take the prey and to tread them down like the mire of the streets. So it's not finna be pretty for you Jakes, man. Okay, nobody for real. Even Esau, Edomites are getting ready to get plowed over. Okay, you just in the way. But the target is Jake, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You see, he's already started with the Northern Kingdom. Because we understand Trump's offended hatred for you Issacharite or you Mexican or you Latin tribes, man. As he said back in 2016, he wants a national registry to put you in it and to basically have his way with you. So a lot of you that's getting deported and put in these prison camps, he gonna give you an ultimatum. He gonna say, well, look, if you want to be part of the American citizenship, if you want to reclaim your status, then take this MOTB. And a lot of you gonna opt in because a lot of you don't have no integrity. Okay, you sell out for working $7 a goddamn hour in a goddamn sweatshop, cooking tacos and fucking tostadas and shit, you know, just to have some type of citizenship here with the devil. Nah, bro, squat all that. But a lot of you, he gonna give an ultimatum, and then a lot of you, he just gonna put to death. All right. Go here, the book of Zechariah. Because we in a time of trouble, man. Things are moving quick, and we could literally be off the streets within fucking months, man. Depending on how they crack down on this anti-S nonsense, hey, we can literally be off the street before the end of the year, man. Okay? But it will come a time that we will not be on the streets prophesied. Okay? It's going to be, you going to try to seek the word of the Heavenly Father, we ain't going to be nowhere to be found, man. Hey, that's, what is it? Amos 8 and 11. The famine of the word. But it says, watch for the day of the Lord is coming when your possessions will be plundered right in front of you. Your homes, your vehicles, your possessions, man, your women, your children, everything that you've worked so hard for is getting ready to be taken from you. And it says, and I will gather all the nations to fight against Jerusalem. The city will be taken, the houses looted, the women raped. And they're going to do that through military intervention. Not only that, you're going to have marauders or people that's looking to loot houses to find food, water, shelter. Okay, they're going to go from house to house seeking whom they can devour, man. And if they catch you, then it's a done deal. Okay, you got a lot of crazies in America, man. And it says here, the city should be taken, the houses looted, and the women raped. Half of the population will be taken into captivity, and the rest will be left among the ruins of the city to die from starvation, from diseases and pestilence. All right. And half of you going in concentration camps. So don't say that you wasn't warned. All right. Luke, Mark 13. And I'm going to start at verses. Let's start. This is Mark 13, and I'm going to start at verses 19. It says, for in those days, and this is Jacob's trouble, for that should be affliction, such it was not from the beginning of creation, which the Most High created unto this time, neither shall be. Now, peep this, right? You heard what it just said. Our 250 years of hardcore bondage was horrible. But the scriptures say that even that time won't have nothing to do with what we're getting ready to go through right now, man. So that's something to think about. And it's going to be in haste, man. It's going to come quick. Like King David described it as a flood coming, man. That's getting ready to come, you know, because for the simple fact, Jake ain't paying attention, you know. And it says in those days should be affliction, such it was not from the beginning of creation, which Yahweh created unto this time, neither shall be. And except that the Lord has shortened those days, no flesh shall be saved. But for the elect's sake, whom he have chosen, those days have been shortened. So the mercy of that is the Lord shortened those days. All right. But hey, it's getting ready to be a tough and trying times for us all, man. Okay. We're all getting ready to go through some shit. But those of us as of the elect, hey, the Lord is going to see us through it. But I'm going to end it giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Lord's will, you were edified. To the next lesson. Shalom.
Do you have any idea what will happen to resistance? Do you know how easy it is to categorize someone who protests against the government as a violent criminal? What if you're protesting with one person in a group and a person of suspicious origin, maybe not even connected with the group, does something violent or breaks federal property? All of a sudden you might be going to a jail in El Salvador. And the crazy thing is not that they said this out loud. I knew, many people knew they were going to do this, but the fact that they've done it in just 2 weeks, what's ahead of us? If you're not alarmed now, you're not paying attention. The government of the United States is threatening to send United States citizens to foreign prisons. Foreign prisons. Out loud. The Secretary of State is making that threat.
In our country, including those of U.S. citizenship and legal residence.
It is breathtaking how quickly the government has moved to threatening citizens. And don't be fooled by what people will say, oh, this is only for violent criminals. We still have a constitution. We still have some ability to stop this. But the definition of what is or is not a criminal will be decided by this government if we don't stop that from happening.
In our country, including those of U.S. citizenship and legal residence.
Hey, citizen of the United States, do you want to go to jail in El Salvador?
Including those of U.S. citizenship and legal residence.
It's here, folks. The threat of sending United States citizens to foreign jails.
He has agreed to accept for deportation any illegal alien in the United States who is a criminal from any nationality, be they MS-13 or Tren de Aragua, and house them in his jails. He has offered to house in his jails dangerous American criminals in custody, including those of U.S. citizenship and legal residence. Including those of U.S. citizenship and legal residence. Including those of U.S. citizenship and legal residence.
It took just over 2 weeks and 1 day for the United States to make a deal with a foreign country to deport United States citizens and hold them in jail in a foreign country. I said long ago that the United States government would start threatening to deport United States citizens. And they're not out loud saying it right now. They're not saying we're going to deport you. But they're doing it just loud enough to start to quiet resistance. And that's the scary part. The part that should concern you. They're making it just close enough that people aren't going to be willing to resist. This is how you lose all of your power. The fear suppresses the resistance. But don't mistake me. I believe that if they had a reason, they would absolutely send United States resistance to foreign prisons, to El Salvador. Do you have any idea what the condition of those jails is going to be? Do you have any idea what will happen to resistance? Do you know how easy it is to categorize someone who protests against the government as a violent criminal? What if you're protesting with one person in a group and a person of suspicious origin, maybe not even connected with the group, does something violent or breaks federal property? All of a sudden you might be going to a jail in El Salvador. The crazy thing is not that they said this out loud. I knew, many people knew they were going to do this, but the fact that they've done it in just 2 weeks, what's ahead of us? If you're not alarmed now, you're not paying attention. The government of the United States is threatening to send United States citizens to foreign prisons. Foreign prisons. Out loud. The Secretary of State is making that threat.
In our country, including those of U.S. citizenship and legal residence.
It is breathtaking how quickly the government has moved to threatening citizens. And don't be fooled by what people will say, oh, this is only for violent criminals. We still have a constitution. We still have some ability to stop this. But the definition of what is or is not a criminal will be decided by this government if we don't stop that from happening.
In our country, including those of U.S. citizenship and legal residence.